that sounds good to you, please subscribe and like this video. That will help me a lot. Thank you. The first case that I want to talk about is rather an older one, which occurred in 2011. Two things are interesting for me about this one. First of all, it happened on Christmas Day. And the second thing is that the family involved in this case and the murderer are Iranians who lived in America. The article that I will be reading for this case is from a website called hindustantimes.com, titled "Man Dressed Up as Santa to Surprise Wife and Kids, Then Killed Them. Christmas Murders That Shook Texas." This was published on December 22nd, 2024. It seems that since 2011, every year around Christmas, there are new articles coming out about this case. The article says, "In Grapevine, known as the Christmas capital of Texas, the festive spirit of Christmas morning in 2011 was shattered by a horrifying murder-suicide carried out by a gunman ominously dressed as Santa Claus. When the police reached the house where the killings took place, they found 7 bodies lying among gift wrapping paper. The victims were shot in the head, chest, and stomach multiple times. 2 handguns were found at the scene. A family friend told local news that Aziz was apparently told he wasn't welcome to the gathering, and that may have been the final breaking point for him. The friend spoke to Aziz on Christmas Eve and told him that his sister-in-law had control over his wife and children, and they would listen to her when she called him evil. Interesting. So I assume Aziz was an abusive man, probably, and that's why this whole family decided that they had enough of him and he wasn't welcome to their house anymore. And the interesting thing is that this friend that they're talking about that told this to the news actually was on Aziz's side, kind of, because he was talking things like, oh, they hurt his pride. Like, what does that mean? Your pride doesn't get hurt, and then you take 2 guns and slaughter 2 families. Your own families. Your own family. It doesn't make sense at all for anyone to understand this man's logic, because he has none. A recording of a 911 call made by Aziz captured the chilling last words of the killer, who admitted to the dispatcher that he was shooting people. In the call, he was heard saying "help" twice, and then "I'm shooting people," followed by a heavy breathing before the line went dead and he shot himself. Santa. He had 2 guns with himself. So what does it mean that he calls the police and says, help, help, I can't help myself, I'm shooting people? It doesn't make sense because it was planned. But before he killed himself, he tried to stage the scene by placing one of the 2 guns used in the hand of his dead brother-in-law. So at the end he wanted to make it like the brother-in-law killed him and he didn't kill himself. Maybe he thought it would make himself look bad to have killed himself, I don't know. As he says, marital and financial troubles led him to kill his family, but have also said, this is about what was the motive. So they're saying it could be their marital and financial problems, but they've also said his exact thought process may never be known, as he was a former real estate professional who was out of work at the time of the killings. In August 2011, the couple filed jointly for bankruptcy when the family's financial troubles infested Aziz's wife held down jobs at 2 spas to raise their children. In April 2011, she moved out of the family's home into the apartment complex 2 miles away. Aziz remained in their home and continued to struggle financially. So that definitely drove him crazy. But why? Why would you think killing the whole family would do anything other than giving news websites a new article every 20th of December every year? The article is ended by saying the massacre remains the deadliest crime in the history of Grapevine. That is a lot of people. 7 people, including himself, were killed. And that is the end of that article and that case. A very tragic one for sure. I can't even imagine the horror that those 6 people felt while this was going on. What if you are the last person out of those 6 and you have to watch the others get shot one by one? I don't know. Let's not think about it too deeply. That is the horrors of the world. We can't do anything about it. The next case that I want to talk about is about a very, very creepy looking guy. And it's not just in his appearance. It's about what he did. The article that I want to read about him is from people.com, and also I found his Instagram, so we'll be looking at that when we're done with this article. This article is titled Tennessee 14-year-old was abandoned in woods by man she met online. It was published on December 30th, 2024. A December 23rd, 2024, Alexander picked up the female from her residence in Tennessee and brought her to his residence in St. Rose, Louisiana, where they allegedly engaged in some sorts of acts, and the female then allegedly disclosed her age to Alexander Materne. Eventually, the two left Alexander Materne's home, and he brought the teen to a wooded area in Tangipahoa Parish. What in the world is that word? Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa, where he left her in a tent with food and water. Alexander then went to Jennings, Louisiana, to celebrate Christmas with his family. What a disgusting prick. Why did he leave her in the woods? Did he hope she would die and they wouldn't be able to drag her back to him somehow? What did he think was going to happen? Well, I bet he didn't think at all. And the family of this teen were the ones who did all the work here. The police said that if they want a job, I'll hire both of these parents as investigators, since they were the key to all of this. After he was found at a family member's residence, the 28-year-old agreed to show detectives where he dropped off the female. Oh dear God, I thought the parents were able to find the teen, but they dragged the guy that she was talking to down, and they went to him directly. If they got there a day or two later, what would have happened to her? Though the teen's name and exact residential location were not disclosed, police said she lived about 160 miles west of Materne's home, which is in St. Rose. The detective said, "You can't make this stuff up. It's a Christmas miracle that she was found safe. This thing could have ended badly." Per the press release, the girl was said to be in good health when authorities found her, and she was transported to a hospital to be evaluated. Materne is also facing human trafficking and carnal knowledge. Interesting. Charges from St. Charles. And that is basically the end of this article. What a disgusting human being. Let's take a look at his Instagram page. I will turn on the screen recorder and Alexander Materne. Here's his page. In the bio it says, small-time actor, juggling, mumbling fool, background actor, friendly guy, impressionist, YouTuber, photographer, and more. Interesting, so he has a YouTube channel too. Maybe we'll look at that. Let's open this picture. It looks like it's from a few years back. Maybe he won the is from November 1st, 2024. And it says, I could really use followers to make it to affiliate. Please come chill with me. And it's a streaming website. Oh, he's streaming Black Ops and is asking for watchers, I suppose. The next post is from June 7th, so he doesn't post much regularly on his Instagram. It's just like once, twice a year. This one's a couple of pictures of motorcycles. The next post is from November 1st, 2023. The first picture is of him holding a carved pumpkin. The next one is also of him holding the pumpkin. Now he's put it on his head. He's wearing a pumpkin head and making faces. Some of it on the train tracks. And the next post is from November 1st, 2023. The same day, and it says, "Lol, happy Halloween." And he seems to be dressed as Jesus. It says right on that card. And then pictures of a tattoo. Did my first tattoos as a wedding gift for a couple of really good friends of mine that got married last week. They were really happy with how it turned out. I don't want to be this couple right now. Having gotten a permanent tattoo from a child kidnapper. Someone who left a 14-year-old child in the woods. He's got a picture from 2023 of grilled cheese, and it's captioned "Tale of a grilled cheese." And he seems to stretch the cheese out in the picture. Cut by a professional. I'm teaching myself tattooing. And it's a picture of him practicing tattoos on fake skin. A picture of him finding a mushroom. Another post. Captioned "Pretty fun guy." And it's a bunch of pictures of a mushroom. Pictures of flowers. Of ice. So this is a normal looking guy, isn't it? It's crazy that you can search and see all these pictures from these criminals all the way back to 10 years ago. This guy seems to have a very, very old picture of his as his profile picture, which is a creepy red flag in itself. But I'm sure if you were someone who knew this guy in real life and just scrolled through his Instagram you wouldn't see any red flags. You wouldn't even think that he'd be capable of something like that. But he did. He kidnapped a 14-year-old child and left her in the woods. I don't know what he thought to himself would happen. How could he get away with it? But thank God he didn't. And that is the end of that case and all the cases that I had prepared for tonight. I hope you guys have a great year full of peaceful dreams and restful sleep. Thank you for watching and commenting as always, and good night.